It's his friend's karaoke you see coming up in Blue Peter, plus a full report of the forthcoming D-Day commemorations.
This is the BBC Home Service. Here is a special bulletin read by John Snell. D-Day has come. Early this morning, the Allies began the assault on the northwestern face of Hitler's European fortress. Allied naval forces, supported by strong air forces, began landing Allied armies this morning on the northern coast of France.
Hello. And that was how people in Britain heard the news of D-Day, a huge invasion from Britain to France that took place 50 years ago. Next week, people all over the world will be commemorating the day that marked the beginning of the end of the Second World War. We'll be telling you the story of D-Day and meeting some of the people who took part in it.
Back in the Blue Peter garden, Claire will be showing off a proud new possession and demonstrating an easy way to grow your own tomatoes.
Well, this week, some of Britain's birds are having a starring role on BBC One. It's all called Bird in the Nest, and it's giving bird lovers a close-up view of secret nest sites at different locations. And waiting to give us an update are Bill Oddie and Peter Holden. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Anthea.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Where exactly are you?
I'm exactly in a wonderful old farmyard. This is just like a farm ought to be. There's lots of cows and hay and muck and lots of insects for birds to eat, and there's lots of places for them to nest too. Over there in that tractor, there's a pair of pied wagtails nesting, 4 babies, and there's lots of lovely old barns with at least 6 pairs of swallows, including our pair of swallows. You can hear by the main road. Doesn't put them off, I tell you.
What happens when the tractor moves?
When what?
What happens when the tractor moves?
The tractor moves, they go for a ride. The babies
You're
have a little...
joking.
Seriously, they have a little ride. The farmer knows they're there and he never takes it out for very long.
Take me over to the birdmobile.
OK, over here's the birdmobile, and this way we can see inside the nests exactly what's going on right now. And over in there is Peter Holden. You better go, Joe. I'm no Annika Rice. I can't run quick enough.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Anthea.
Which are the 5 nests you've got up on the screen there?
Right, well, this is where we've got all our nests set up. We've got live pictures coming into our monitors, and we can go from nest to nest. So we've got all 5 of them. Let's take you through them quickly. Here are the swallows that are in the barn just outside. Bill's just arrived back here, and these are the ones that are beside him. That's right. These are the blue tits in a garden not too far away. There are 8 of those, maybe 9, and they are about 3 days left in the nest.
I saw them last night, the blue tits. What happened to the little one who was falling out of the nest?
He got back in. He got back in. He was all right.
Good.
There are 6 young robins here. They're only about 4 days old, so they're going to be back in the nest for still 8 days to go, I think, before they turn into little robins properly.
And what about... Oh, there he is.
You probably recognise one of these, don't you? This is
I
a
do.
kestrel. Not a very cooperative kestrel because she's been sitting with her back to us quite a lot of the time. The male's much better. He faces us. And that's our fourth nest.
Because you and I watched some nesting kestrels, didn't we, Peter?
Somebody's scared of him.
Leapt away at that point. We'll probably find that the male comes in and looks after those eggs because they don't leave them for very long. They're good parents, these two, aren't they?
They work in real cooperation, both birds.
How do you manage to conceal the cameras so that you don't frighten away the birds?
Well, the answer is extremely carefully for a start. The main thing is in no way should we ever disturb the birds. Now, these are our blue tits, for example. This is a live picture inside the nest. And let's show you outside the nest. Can we just show you outside the nest? Is that possible? No, we're showing you at the back. This is inside the shed, and the nest box is through that little window there. And
just see the young ones poking their heads up there. This was taken a few days ago. They were a lot smaller than they are now.
Very tiny. And it's a remote control camera. Control camera, and the light is introduced. Can I show you how to do the light? If you come back to us here. Right. Can you cut back to us? There we are. There's this is called a fibre optic light, and it's brought, as you can see, very tiny little light. It's not hot, so the birds can't ever get burnt, and the light's brought up very slowly and carefully. And you can see by the fact that they're feeding and they've grown perfectly happily, in no way does it disturb them. No.
Bill, Peter, we're going to have to leave you now, but we're going to speak to you in about 15 minutes before the end of our programme.
Brilliant.
Come back to us.
So you carry on watching Blue Peter, and we'll see you a bit later.
OK, see you later.
Well, now this morning, Tim and Bonnie were out in the Blue Peter garden, but I don't think that they were bird spotting.
Well, I don't know about you two, but it's a great day for doing some hard work in the garden. But have you noticed a difference? No? Well, come on then. Have a look over here. We've got a brand new greenhouse. Well, the other one was over 10 years old and it was getting a bit rickety. So we sent in our demolition expert, Claire Bradley, to do the dirty and give the greenhouse a facelift.
on. Now we've got a nice clear sight.
When I joined Blue Peter, one of the first things I wanted to come and have a look at was this, because I remember watching the programme when Percy, Leslie, John and Simon put their hands and feet into the wet cement by the garden pond. Well, now history is going to repeat itself, and Tim, Diane, myself and the pets are going to do exactly the same.
Lovely. Yes, we're waiting.
Well, there's my handprints, Diane's, Anthea's, yours, and Georgie's, and all the pets. What do you think?
Looks okay, doesn't it?
Well, even more historic than this is me helping you in the garden for the first time.
It certainly is. I wondered when you were going to show up, Tim.
What's my first job?
Well, I've got a grow bag here, and in it I want to plant some tomatoes.
Tomato plants, great.
Now, you can normally plant about 3 in a grow bag, and I've cut the holes out here. So the grow bag's just got special compost in it, and this one's peat-free, which is good news.
All right, then. So what's the first
just
thing to
make
do?
a hole first.
Make a hole,
put the
get my
tomato
hands
plant
dirty.
in, and then I've got a special ingredient for you to put in.
Right.
Just stick your hand in that and grab a
Ah, what is it? I think I should have asked first.
And I'll do a little dried pinch.
Oh,
in
dry,
mine.
okay, yeah, I'll do the wet one.
What it is gel that
Yeah.
swells, and one little sachet like this, just
Yeah.
one of these,
Yeah.
swells out to all this amount. And what it
Wow.
does is helps the bag to hold water, so you don't have
Okay.
to water it quite so much.
Okay.
So just mix that in a little bit at the bottom,
Right.
then get your tomato plant.
Now, I always find this bit difficult. How do I do it?
Right, the way to do it is to put your hand over the pot with
Hand over the pot.
stalk of the tomato plant in the middle of your
Hands,
fingers.
yeah.
Turn it upside down,
Yeah.
and then just knock it on the underside, and it should slip out like that.
Hey, it does. That's a good tip.
Yes, good. And if you find the roots are in a square shape, then you
Yeah.
just need to tease them out just a little bit,
a little
very gently,
Okay.
so they'll get growing easily.
All right.
Then pop it in your hole quite
Pop it there.
deeply.
All right. Done that.
Firm it down a little bit round it.
Okay.
Now, another little tip I've got
Yeah.
is to take half a lemonade bottle,
Half a lemonade
cut in
bottle.
half, then plant it next to the tomato plant.
And what does this do?
Upside down. This helps you watering. It means that when you water the bag, the water that you put in is going to go straight down to the tomato
Get to the
plant's
roots.
roots, which is where it wants
Okay.
it.
Does it need fertiliser?
It does. It'll need feeding with a tomato food because
Right.
this provides the right nutrients for the plants.
So we've put it in compost, we've given it fertiliser and water. When can I expect to eat my tomato sandwiches?
Well, we've already got some flowers on here,
Right,
so
good.
it probably means we'll get some tomatoes in about maybe 4 weeks.
Great. Well, as long as the sun stays like this and Diane remembers to water the tomato plants.
You planted them, you can water them.
All right, I'll eat them then.
No, you won't. You'll give them to your friends.
All right, then, I'll share.
Well, news now of our seatbelt poster competition. Last week, we asked you to design a poster that will make people think about putting seatbelts in minibuses.
We've already received loads of entries. Some use a minibus as part of the design, like this one by Naomi Lullum from Staines, and she's age 9. And as you can see, there's lots of happy, smiley people in the windows, and it says right across it, "Belt up, be safe," on one big belt, and there's even a Blue Peter badge in the corner. Now, not all the posters we've looked at feature minibuses, like this one by 9-year-old Katie Bell Smith from Derbyshire, who's come up with a clever and striking poster. As you can see, there are actually 3 eggs sitting in the seat, and they're all smiling because they're actually seat belted up. And it says, "Remember Humpty," in really bright colours.
I like that one. Well, catchy, snappy slogans sometimes work just as well as pictures. And Christopher Stevens has come up with a good one. He's from Dufford in Wales, and his slogan says, is Make a Fuss, Belt a Bus. That's very good. And this one here is from 6-year-old Michael Figg from Denby Dale, and his slogan is "Be safe, be happy, give us seatbelts and make it snappy." That's an order, that is.
Now, you haven't only been sending in your poster designs, we've also received many letters about what you think about seatbelts in minibuses. Katie Southworth, who's 11 and lives in Bolton, has written to tell us about her experiences. She travels to school every day in a minibus which doesn't have seatbelts. Quite a few times our minibus has had to brake suddenly, and each time we were jerked quite violently forward. This would have been prevented if we had been wearing seatbelts.
Well, we've also received lots of letters that think the government should be doing something. Here's one from 6-year-old Guy Unsworth from Southport, and he says, "I hope the government will say that we all must have seatbelts in minibuses. My school bus does not have any." Well, once again, we have asked a government minister to come onto Blue Peter, and once again, they've said they're waiting for the results of a report into minibus safety to come out. They say it should be weeks, though, rather than months.
Keep sending us your letters and poster designs. Draw or paint your entry on a piece of paper like this with your name, age and address on the back, and send it to Blue Peter, Seatbelt, BBC TV, PO Box 20, London W12 6BP. And the closing date is June the 14th. So get scribbling and good luck.
Whoop. Well, I'm glad you got your binoculars, because we're going to go back to Bristol to meet those bird spotters extraordinaire, Bill Oddie and Peter Holden. Hello, you two.
Hello,
Hi.
welcome back.
We're riveted at the moment. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Good.
Look, we've got a buzzard on here, which is circling round outside one of our nests. Anyway, sorry, Anthea,
You
what do you want?
digress. Anything exciting happened since, well, the last time I spoke to you, which was 15 minutes ago.
Well, we rather think this buzzard may have caused that kestrel to come off the nest very when you were last with
That's
us.
right,
She
yeah,
left
shot
extremely
off,
fast. She doesn't usually do that. Anyway, she's recently come back on again, is now sitting tight on those 4 eggs we saw when you were last with us.
I was watching your update just before we came on air, and you mentioned something about the kestrel which you didn't realise before.
One of the kestrels, yes, that's right. Because most of the books say that only the female stays on the eggs, and we have once and for all disproved this. In fact, to give him credit, Chris Packham studied kestrels a few years ago, and he suggested that both the male and female stay on the eggs, and we've certainly proved it, because our male has been sharing the incubation with the female.
Are there any other things that you found out that you didn't realise?
I think the other surprise was with the blue tits, wasn't it, Bill? We read up the books, and they said it brought in snail shells to feed to the young. But we wondered what we would see. And then one day we actually saw this. So we've got a bit of film here, and they're robins.
Robins.
Robins. Can we find the blue tits? We've got 5 nests to choose from, so it sometimes causes
might
a
have
bit
to-
of a problem.
have to pretend
Here's
it's
the
fine.
outside of the
There they
blue
go.
tit box. There's the inside of the box. And didn't bring in a snail shell, it brought in a whole snail. And the youngster really had great problem in digestion. In fact, we didn't think it was going to get it down at all. It doesn't look like it there. But it did. It swallowed it down, and it was still alive the next morning. I mean, they really do take
snail.
that. This,
The snail
I think
She
the
looks
snail-
like she
the young
wants
one
it
was.
back.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she kept taking it back as if to say, maybe it's too big.
Perhaps she
and
did
then
make a mistake,
Yeah.
but no, it's okay.
it went down.
Bill, Peter, when's your next report on the BBC?
We're at 6:55 tonight, and again at 10 to 9. It's half term, so I know there's some good natural history on just before that. So try and persuade your parents to stay up till 10 to 9 to watch the last programme. A good 10 minutes or so.
Lots of live pictures coming through.
I'll be watching.
Thank
Good
you very
luck
much.
with the rest
Thank you.
of the project.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Anthea. Bye-bye.
And I'll be watching it as well. Now, next Monday, on June the 6th, it will be the 50th anniversary of a remarkable event, D-Day. 50 years ago, people all over the world were glued to the news on the radio, anxiously waiting to find out what was going on. There was no television, but if there had been, maybe this is how Newsround would have reported events on the 6th of June, 1940.